This glitter effect is right up my street, and it's without any actual glitter. So you are not going to have glitter in your hair, pillows and your carpets for days. We are simply using pens, and these are alcohol markers that I'm using, and some paint pens as well. Oh goodness, this is a great start, isn't it? My pen's actually running out because I've been colouring all day, prepping the demos for this demonstration. Never mind, I can still do it. I've done the prep. So what we're doing is doing base colours, and this is to give a bit of 3D form underneath the dots and spots that we're going to apply. Oop, lost a top there. All right, this is 3 colours, and I'm going to blend them together, which is going to be impossible now that this lilac-y pink has run out. You'll see in a moment I've done a lot of this colouring today to prep. But anyway, we'll carry on, because as if by magic, I do have the next stage done. So let's put that aside and bring in this one. Now, after you've let all that dry, merge the colours together, then you can do another layer if you want the colours to be richer, but again, it's doing creating form as a base layer, and then within the dots we're not going to get white gaps where we don't want highlights to be, and it helps us to know where to place our dark and light colours at the finish line. So here I've taken the medium shade marker which I used and added some dots with the brush tip end, and now I'm taking paint pen. So let me just get this going. Again, I've been using these pens all day. These pens have lasted me a long time, but some of these colours I have used so much today prepping this. So you want to do dots all over. This is a purple. Get these dots evenly all over. Don't worry if you're going on the light section or the dark section, it will all become clear at the end. And just so you know, I'm following the colours and guides from inside here. This is my Colorist special effects book. I do have a few different guides on glitter. This is lips, but what we're mainly following off is the guide to complete the shoe, but in the form of a heart. So we've got those dots and stipples down. Now we're going to add a bit of pink, brighten it up. So this is paint pen, so I'm dotting pink. Yeah, you have to do that with paint pens. Dotting pink all over, trying to get some, I'm going more gentle towards the lines. Anyone that can place dots can actually do this glitter effect. You do want some dots that are bigger, some that are small, because it makes it more realistic in the overall effect, and it's good to give variation of your marks. You don't want them all tiny. So once we've got down some of this lovely pink, we're going to go for some dots of this sort of, I'd call it a sort of electric, almost electric blue colour. So I'm going to dot this all over again, just like we have done with the purples and the pink. some big bits, some small bits, some down at the edges. I'll go slower when I dot at the edges to try and keep it in the lines. And then once that is complete, you need to let these dry. This is obviously dried. You want to then come in with the black, and this is where, having done our base shades in alcohol markers, is helpful to kind of remember where we want the dark and light in order to create a finished sort of 3D looking heart rather than a heart that is flat. So I am placing the black round the top and in this kind of V shape down here. Again, some big dots, some along here for a bit of shade, showing that the heart is sort of curved down. And once you've got your black done sufficiently, I would do a bit more than that, then you would move on to the fun part, which is adding the white highlights. Now, it's again important to add these white bits in the right place, some big and some dotty, adding them in the correct place where the light is hitting, which you will see from what I'm doing here. I'm mainly doing the white along here, which makes, again, enhances the heart being more 3D. I know it's probably difficult to see with my hand over this, doing this dotty technique. And yes, I can put a few white bits around, but I want the main concentration within this area in order to enhance and show off the 3D form, the bulbous shape of the heart. Now, when I've done all this, I would then add glints of light. Some people like to do glints in a sort of diamond shape, and that's fine. I like to do glints that are a bit more spiky. You've got to be confident with your strokes, and you might need to let that dry a few seconds, and go over it again. I'm just going to show you here. In order to get the full effect, it's ideal to have a coloured background which shows off the glints coming off out of the side of the shape. So anyway, I'm doing this quickly. I would put more just to give you an idea. But really, as long as you can dot, you can't really go too far wrong, and you can have breaks in between letting it dry. And I have done one earlier to show you the finished thing, knowing that things wouldn't dry. So here we go. This is the finished one I did in prep this afternoon. And as you can see, I've placed a shadow underneath it just using greys. There are all sorts of things you can do with glitter. A lot of these, well, all of these are in fact inside my book. So hopefully that's been fun. And so what's the verdict? Does it make you want to grab some pens and go out and glitterify your colouring books? Have fun.